Hi everybody, and a very warm welcome back. All I'm going to be doing tonight is a quick study because I started off this morning doing an ink and wash, and it's the end of the day, and I felt that it would be nice just to finish off that way as well. So I'm literally parked behind. I've got one of these park benches that I'm sitting on, which is proving very ideal today. And I just want this great big oak here, and it is just a massive oak with lots of leaves, and it's just a quick study. I hope it's going to be a quick study anyway, and I'm talking quietly because there's a lot of neighbours and I don't want to upset anybody by having this unending commentary while I paint. So I'm just going to talk quite softly, I hope. Anyway, there's a broken limb through there, and I'll leave that as it is, and the remnants of that are laying down here. But moreover, there's another limb on this side. I'm guessing it's broken off from the back of the tree, which I can't actually see. How old this oak is, I have no idea. It goes on up and up and up. In fact, what I will do is just try and take a picture as best I can, showing its absolute size. No, I can't because the birch is just gone. That's pretty cool. Anyway, not to worry. But the spread on this is absolutely phenomenal. And all I'm doing is just quite simply coming in with some of the lower branch, some of the masses of leaves that are all over this area, and maybe just suggesting the part here where it goes up, over, splits out here somewhere. Going to scratch that in. I think that's all the drawing I really need to do. But back to my little bit of fun in the woods. It was a lovely walk through, and took lots of photographs, did a few sketches, and did a bit of footage with the hover, as I said. I really enjoyed it, and it's an amazing in the deepest parts of the forest where you've got stuff that's fallen for years. In fact, I will show it, but there was a whole big tree, don't know what it was originally, a great big tree had fallen and snapped off, and all the inside had gone, and all that was left was the shell of the outer bark. That still remains intact, and yet the inside has rotted away. I find that truly amazing. Anyway, enough of my prattling on. I'm just going to come, I want to put a little bit of leaves up in here. Very quick. I'm not going to try and consider doing too much. These are just general leaves of this tree, as they are all over. Like this. Just scribbling some in, going to put a nice thing, because this is very close to me. I've got the flexible nib with me on this flexible pen from America. I think it's called FN, oh I can't remember. Flexible nibs anyway. I think it's the Flexible Nib Company. Nice company, nice pens. I've got several flexible pen nibs. This is just one, and they're good. They work very well. And then we're going to come in with some dark shades. Let that get lost in amongst all of this as it goes on further. And lots more down through here. We've barely begun. I can see this becoming quite a very extended, protracted painting. I hadn't meant it to be so, but I am also working on quite a large scale, to be fair. So I'm going to come through here and put a lot more up there. I think we've got another limb I've suggested up the back there. I'm going to come in with that and allow for some of those to come across. Like so. Maybe a little bit under there. And then I think there's another big limb. I'm actually going to split them here. There is a split. I'm going to put that through there, that up there. And whether or not I've added one, I'm not too sure, but I'm going to come up here with this. Okay, so we're going to bring this on down through here. Just a few small broken old branches, nothing attached to them. Lots more greenery as we come cascading down the main trunk. Carbon black ink. It is slightly wetter than the Atramentis. I said that too, but in case you didn't see that film, that's just letting you know what we're using here. It's a very black ink, this carbon. Platinum ink, I can't remember it. But yeah, it's very, very dark black, but it is also very, very wet. And by that I mean it really comes out of the pen very, very nicely, but it needs a little time to dry before you start painting on it. You could come a cropper if you don't do that. Now there are some fissures in the bark as this comes down, some little damp runs where it's been raining so hard that the water has crept down certain ways, and there's a couple of squirrels chasing each other. I don't know if it's a male after a female annoyed at her mate or what, I don't know. A couple of bully boys local, I don't know. It's funny seeing them. I see lots of grey squirrels, but I don't normally see them doing that sort of thing. Anyway, enough. Lots of little bark textures coming down here, as is truly an oak. Now I'm going to put in a few darker marks to one or two of them. Have a little more of an edge and a little bit more of importance in places. I'm just pushing down on the tines of the nib just a little bit more to allow more ink to escape and come down. Having done that, I'm now going to just do a little bit of hatching. underneath. We're going to do that. I'm not going to put too much effort into this. Just want to come up with a general shape, and then it goes off the page like so. Very dark. You can see the limbs and all the striations of the old bark, almost like the underneath of a big, it's just like an old underneath of a sperm whale with all these lines and folds and cracks and crevices, as it were. An old sperm whale has that sort of fluted underneath his throat. I said it right the first time, I think. Anyway, and that's what it reminds me of. Degrees of leaves and stuff as this goes on up into a canopy. Just trying to quickly bash in the idea of something else in the background. This is our main thing, and that's what I'm sort of worried that I don't want to lose that. I should have probably just left it as the study and just put some green behind, but never mind. I think that's fine. So right, let's find some brushes. Let's get some, by the time I've organised that, they'll be ready to put the washes on. And these are just going to be very, very quick washes. I brought the wrong brushes out. Never mind, I've got a couple of watercolour ones in here. We'll use those. I normally would use my Rosemary & Co, but they are still away in my other bag. Right, so quickly. We've got some cobalt. Mine's a bit dirty, so let's just clean that off. Cobalt, and it's the end of the day. I'm going to put a little touch of cad red into that. Not much. I say cad red, organic vermilion. Get it right. I'm just going to put in over these areas here just a suggestion of some sky up in here. That little bit of blue, a little bit of organic vermilion, and just come in here with a tap or two of sky. Right, now while I've got that going, it's going to come in with some of our blue-grey. I think that's not enough, so let's come in with some cobalt and some lemon. More cobalt, there's way too much lemon. A little bit of red in there as well. So knock that back, and we're going to put in a little bit of distance from our trees. That will dry much, much paler, but that just gives an idea that we've got something going on out the back of the beyond, like that. Doesn't have to be any more than that. We're not putting any structure to it. We are quite simply adding some trees. Now, what I've actually done is I'm up and elevated. I've drawn this tree quite as though I'm looking up at it. I just realised that, and I've changed the perspective myself. Not what I planned on doing. I wonder, can I change that? Probably not now, so I'm going to have to live with it. Just realised what I've done. not an end of the world, it's just that I should have had it in a slightly different elevation, I think. This one is not a bad shout, this one's about where it should be, but never mind. A bit more blue and a little bit of the red as well. Just want to come in with some more values here down the side of our tree. Now let's come in with some darker tree leaves. So I'm going to put in the bit there, a little bit of indigo, a little bit of ultramarine blue, and hopefully this will all be dry enough now that I can just tap in. That's too blue. Come in with some lemon into that and a bit more of the ultramarine, indigo blue. I'm just going to come in and tap away at some of these shapes in here. Don't want them too dark. I do want them dark, but I don't want them so dark that they take the ink drawing away. These are for me, an ink and wash, and I keep saying it, but for me it's about the drawing. The paint is merely to assist, augment, support and help the drawing, but to me drawing is what it's all about. So I don't really want to destroy the drawing with very, very dark values of paint. I'd rather let your mind suggest, or your brain tell you, that it's dark and light or whatever it might be. Okay, let's come in and do this dark trunk. For that I'm going to use some sepia into our green. Sepia is a really cool colour, cool brown, dark, not as rich and red as burnt umber is. And to that I'm going to mix in just a little bit of indigo. And hopefully now we can just come in and lay in our trunk. It will be dark in appearance, but it will be light enough, I hope, to allow the hatching to pop in. But it will show our tree up. Nicely. The odd extra tap here and there. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of phthalo green. I don't normally use too much of this, but I'm just going to suggest that on this bit of the log. It's like licheny colour, dark and somber looking. Okay, I'll run that line down through there. There we go. A little bit of dark around the base. It touches the grasses. Okay, some of this is a little crude, but I quite like what we've got here. I really do. A nice light of that broken stump on the side. That's good. Right, well, I think we're done. I'm getting quite tired. It's getting quite late. I'm not sure what the time is actually. Let's check. Yes, it's 6:30 now. We've been going a little while. I just want to put in a few more colour notes in here just to suggest some stuff that's going on. A little bit of warmth, a little bit of cobalt. Just play around with some dirt and little bits of debris in here, just to help settle down some of these colours in here. Just going to drop in a little bit of lemon. That's a bit strong. Tone it down. There we go. Quite like the way that's just doing its thing. Being eaten by bugs. There's so much water from the rains today, I'm guessing many bugs have hatched. I'll come in here with a little bit of cobalt turquoise and some grunge. Like the grunge. Alright, I think I'm going to call it a day anyway. I'm quite happy with what we've done, or what I've done. A little bit of light and dark under there. Okay everybody, well there you go. It's taken a little while. There was an awful lot of leaf matter on here. I'm surprised that it took as short a time as it did, but it was a little bit of a praised version as well. I just wanted to end the day as I started. I had a lot of fun doing it. I hope you've enjoyed it as well, and I'm sure you got something from it if you do ink and washes, or indeed just drawing with ink or pencil, or indeed just doing watercolors. There's something in there for everybody. As I say, if you have enjoyed it, then please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Make a few comments, and as I say, if you really do like what I do, and if you're not a subscriber, then please subscribe to both channels. It really does help the channel grow. And if you really want to help support the channel a little bit, then by all means, if you feel so disposed, you can always buy me a coffee. Every penny that I make from those sorts of things goes into paying back the enormous cost in both time, resources, petrol, van, materials, camp fees. It all costs a lot to create free videos, and I pay for that out of my own pocket. So anything that comes back in by way of thank yous in terms of buy me a coffee or donations through YouTube, whatever it is, then I do appreciate it, and it is warmly received, warmly welcomed. So that said, this is going to be the next to last video I do in the New Forest. I've got one more I'm going to do in the morning. Weather permitting, I'm going to do an oil painting for you, and that will complete this trip. And then I'm off to meet a friend and going to do some photography down in the Portsmouth area, and so there won't be any painting from that, but there may be a little bit of footage for Clarabelle and the mobile channel, just to suggest what I've got up to on those last day or so. Catch me then, join me, and I look forward to your company. Until that time, stay safe, have fun wherever you are, enjoy your painting. Bye bye everyone, bye bye.